How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sports Card Weekly. This is episode 8. I'm here with Samson and Alec. How are you guys doing today?
Yo,
What's
So
up?
let's get right into the PSA price increases.
ugh,
Do you guys think how will it affect what you send in, what level going forward?
I think it's going to force people to be more selective with their cards, which I think is good. But I'll say a counterpoint to that is I see people saying that people were exploiting PSA, sending in these base cards and selling them for a profit, and it's like, okay, that's true, but like it's your posted price. Like I can agree that there are definitely a lot of cards that probably are not worthy of sending in, but like really who is to say what is worthy or not when you're posting a price? Like we're just going by what you're offering as a service. But I think that like moving forward, maybe in 3 to 9 months, prices may go up for the PSAs, especially the nines. There's a lot of low valued nines that are way below the tens. I get it from the perspective of it not being a perfect card, but I'm sure that we'll see, these people getting their submissions back that for the older price. I'm sure that it'll stay, pretty steady. But I think that if they don't change back once they've kind of cleared the backlog, that we could probably see PSA prices go up a little bit.
What about you, Alec? How you
yeah.
feeling?
With PSA prices going up, like Samson said, card prices are going to go up. So nines, like we'll see significant raise in prices in nines, not only nines but tens as well. Prices in raw cards I think will stay the same, but like saying like with these grading services, like some people are going to have to opt out, go on the PSA and go to these like hybrid grading, like what was it, HGA or
Yeah.
like even FGC. Like if they're sending everything and like anything, they're going to go to these companies, and like a lot of like a lot of business is going to be lost from PSA in my opinion. But like the value of the card market will go up because of these prices, because PSA is so valued. So like it's kind of hard to say like how I feel about it, because like I'm going to be making more money, but I'm still going to be like, for like each card I'll be making more money, but it's still going to be making me the same amount because I'm sending more. Like it's going to be more the grade. So like for me, I'm going to like you said, Samson, like I'm going to be way more careful with the stuff I send in, like I am anyway. But like more like highly like valued cards, I'm going to start sending in the PSA, then like maybe explore the option of using SGC or like HGA or something like that.
Yeah, I can
I
see
think,
both sides of it because like it is a business at the end of the day, and they're
Right.
sending. We're the people who made the problem. Like we
Mm.
sent $4 or $5 cards, and they just got influx. Like they couldn't see this coming. Like the explosion of sports cards, like
it's true.
millions of cards a month, like 3 million cards a month. They're saying they're getting 3 to 4 million. Like that's insane. Like you need how many employees? Like do the math on that. I don't know. So I can see both sides, but at the same time, like they needed to be a little more transparent with us.
Agreed.
Right.
Like SGC just came out and said like when they raised their prices, like I mean that whole thing was kind of a marketing ploy, I feel like, but at least they're like, hey, like we fucked up, like
Yeah.
send us your stuff now because our backlog is gone. Like PSA did something like that, I feel like it would look better on their end, like from an HR perspective. But they're just like lost in the customer service aspects. Like no one really expects anything anymore from PSA as far
That's
as
true.
like customer service, HR. I like what Alex said about the prices going up too. I feel like it will help us, like it will help the market and like as a whole. It'll increase value of tens. Like you said, Samson, nines will like slowly rise. And I've been buying like I've seen people like mostly on the forums like posting just like lots like that lot that I sent you that we should have bought, dude. We
Yeah.
should have
Right.
snagged that. But like people are just posting like cheaper cards that they don't want to send. Not cheaper, but like in between cards, like that $300-$400 range that they don't want to send like express anymore because if it gets a 9, they're probably not making money.
Mm-mm.
So I've been buying like heavily these past few days because I feel like people are gonna kind of panic sell a little bit or just offload, like try to
definitely.
re-roll, get into something else. I feel like it's a good buying opportunity in that way.
Yeah, for raw, for sure.
Yeah,
Especially
for
if you can have the patience, to send it in even bulk still. I mean, I think that this is where like I'm thinking right now is, what's the alternative to PSA and value? I mean, right now, I guess there's really no clear number two, but I'd say most people would probably say BGS,
Mhm.
But it's like, if you want the best value for your card, you still kind of want to send as of now to PSA. So it's like, it kind of puts us in this position where we either have to choose to try a new grading company and then hope the value starts to go up. But I don't really feel like that's where it's going to go. I think PSA will still be the king. So it's like, do we just become more selective? Do we send in through another grading company? I don't know. But someone brought up a good point on Twitter. I saw they were talking about Bo Bichette's Topps rookie cards. They were saying for raw they sell between $5 and $10, usually like 5 or 7. If you get a 10, which if you look at the rates for PSA, there is a lot of 10s. There's actually quite a few. Like it's pretty good 10 rate.
Is that the Series 1 or Chrome?
Series
Does that
one,
make
just
a big
Series one.
difference? Oh,
Yeah,
Series 1.
just the Series
I-
one. So they're
So it's
talking about
paper.
how, yeah. So they're like talking about if you sent in, 5 of them and you were to get back, 2 Gem 10s and then you got the rest 9s, even at the current pricing, you'd still make a profit, like you'd still see the profit because the 10s are selling for up to 100, so it's like, you could definitely make that money back, but it's like, who knows where the market goes by the time you get those cards back. That's another problem, is like, if you want to go the cheaper route, which I think is probably better in most cases, it's like by the time you get it back, who knows, something could happen. He could get injured, he could bust, whatever it is, a plethora of reasons he could, not be as valued as high. You lose that value with all that time it's waiting at PSA. So it's like, I mean, it's really, you know, it's up to you. You got to just kind of make your own decision, because it makes it a little less clear on if you're going to make profit for sure now. I feel like,
Mhm.
What do you think? Are you going to stick with PSA?
Yeah, BGS like is not a viable alternative. Like I know people who sent like express orders that are still sitting there from like October to BGS. Like they're worse than PSA as far as turnaround times go. I mean, SGC, it'll be interesting because there's definitely like an opportunity there. Like 100%, someone can step up. It might be HGA, but they only allow like 2,000 cards or something per
Yeah,
week.
it's a lottery too now. And
Oh,
did you see
that's
for
better.
SGC, going back real quick, they limited now, so the minimum order is 5. So now it's no
Okay.
longer 20 cards, so now it's 5. So it's like, okay, you increased your price, but now you did lower the amount that we have to send in. So it's
I
like more
think PSA did that too. They lowered it from 20 to 10,
yeah.
and then they raised the declare value on bulk from 199 to 499. So a little bit of leeway, but they don't really upcharge anyway, unless it's like a crazy card.
Yeah. I think too, like when you declare the value, like I saw this guy on Twitter, Certified Cards, really cool guy. I've dealt with him a couple times now. He had or it was a Juan Soto first Bowman auto. It was sent to another PSA customer. PSA confirmed it was accidentally sent to another person, right?
Dude,
So
that's
he's
like a
contacting
$20,000
PSA.
card.
He's contacting, but the declared value at the time was like, he said something like 450 or something like that
Yeah, because
raw.
he probably sent it bulk, huh? Or like
Yep,
calling
exactly,
it.
exactly. So he's like, well, now this guy's not responding to him. It's been a couple weeks now. I've been following it, just kind of curious. PSA hasn't got in contact with this guy. PSA still has cards though for this guy. So it's like, I wonder ethically, can they just hold that guy's other cards there and not give them up until he gives back this other
Does
card?
he even have any cards that are worth that much though? Like
That's
I
the
feel like
thing.
he just be like,
If they
keep
don't
that
know,
shit.
exactly. Like
I'll take the
that's the
Juan
thing.
Soto.
I'm positive that Soto is probably worth more than, whatever it is. Otherwise, he'd probably be responding. You know
Is
what
it
I
a
mean?
10?
Yeah,
Dude, that's like 30, 40K.
yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
Holy crap.
It was a Joe Adele first Bowman Chrome auto 10.
Joe Adele too.
No, sorry, Juan Soto.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like 30K, like 35K.
And he's screwed because it's like, if this guy doesn't respond, what can you really do, you know?
Nothing.
And it's messed up because then it's like, and then for a case like this, I'm sure it doesn't happen all the time. What is PSA going to do? Because even if they send him back the declared value or the insurance or whatever, that doesn't even cover like a small fraction of what it's worth now, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's messed up. I mean,
It's
that
messed up.
wait time can help you or it can hurt you.
Exactly.
Like, flashback, February 2020 when we sent our bulk. They were like, "Oh, we'll get it back in like 3-4 months," because that was before like the explosion of shit, and it took 8 months, but that helped me because I got it back at the right time. Like that could, when Tatis was going off, like it can help you or it could hurt you. Like the player could tear his ACL and then fall off the face of sports, and then it could really hurt you.
Exactly.
So it could go both ways.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Crappy
Because
situation.
baseball is not so physically demanding, but you do get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And like when baseball, because they have so many players in a organization, like you have single A, double A, triple A, they can bring up any of those guys that can just take your spot like that. So that's what's crazy about baseball, because you can be replaced really easily. Because there's 25 other dudes who can take your spot. So it's not like basketball where they'll just bring up someone from the G League. They'll just have someone else who could play like a combo guard or whatever, like a flex forward. Baseball, they just bring up the next best guy from the team below. So like with baseball, you got to be careful who you buy, and like that's why I stick to like the big five: Trout, Tatis, Soto. Who are the other two? Trout, Tatis, Soto, Acuna.
I'm picking up
and
Vlad.
a couple others.
We lost like 100 pounds. Dude.
Who, Vlad? Yeah,
well,
he lost like
much, but like
he lost like 45 pounds, and he's hitting nukes still. So
yeah, and he's kind of fast now.
yeah, he'll play first base though. He doesn't.
True.
He can't play third, bro. Like
he's a defensive liability.
Oh yeah, just throw him at first. Have him hit 35 home runs a year.
You guys think the Blue Jays will be solid this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think they'll win. I don't think they'll win the AL East.
No, I think the Yankees will win for sure, and I feel like people are sleeping on the Red Sox too. Like we always bounce back from crap years, but I feel like the Blue Jays will be a playoff team, like for sure. Springer, Vlad, Bichette. Who else? They got Ryu in their rotation. Their rotation's kind of nice.
They have a pretty good bullpen too.
Yeah, I feel like they'll be solid.
Kind of like switch gears for a sec. Still on baseball.
Baseball.
Looking at the prices right now. What do you guys think of them? So, just quickly, obviously prices are rising, especially for guys like Tatis who just signed their big contracts. Their cards have gone up tremendously. Where do you think the peak of raw cards will be, like price wise? Do you think it'll be in the next few weeks, like before
the day before season?
You think it'll be like right before season, the actual season start?
Yeah.
I think so too.
So do you think now is still an okay time to still buy some baseball?
Yeah, during spring training, they're still trying to figure out like rosters and stuff. But like at the end of spring, like end of March, like you already have your like declared roster going into season. So like a guy like Carlson or a guy even like Adele, like he's not even going to start like a lot this year because they just signed Dexter Fowler. They still have Justin Upton. So like you got to be careful who you buy. Like for Yance, he buys Bobby Dalbex, and he's going to start at first. So like with these guys like going into this season, just got to be careful with who you buy because you never know how they'll pan out. But like right before season is the right time to buy raw, because what if they do pan out? You got them at such a cheap price. So just play it safe like that. That's what I try to do right before baseball season, or buy like in weeks before, so I can just get the lowest, cheapest price. But usually I just go off my gut feeling.
Yeah, I feel like it'll peak. Maybe not the day before, because like basketball kind of peaked like a week into season. I feel like it'll be the same. Like the day of like opening day, maybe the week before, we'll start to see like performance. What the hell?
Sorry, my shit.
Performance based, like someone hits a home run, their stuff will go up. Like we'll see that. I feel like we'll see that for like a month or so, but like an overall decline besides the players that are
My PlayStation just fell off of my fucking thing.
what the
PlayStation just fell off of on my TV
I
stand.
want to get a PS5, but
It's on it, PS4.
So then 2 more questions for you guys. So do you think for the guys, like you said, the 5, Vlad, Trout, Soto, Acuna, do you think that these are more guys that you want to hold on to and not sell at the beginning of season hype?
Depends what I'm holding on to and what I get. Like that Bowman Chrome Luis Robert 9, I'll probably get rid of. But I still have a lot of Luis Robert at PSA right now, not Bowman his first years, but like I just want to hold on to stuff that like I feel is valued the most. Like the Trouts I will hold on to forever just because like I'm an Angel fan and it's like it's gonna just go right into the PC. But guys like Acuna who are still like not in their prime but like leading up to their prime, like those are guys I would just want to I don't know. I guess I can I don't know. That's a good question. Because there is stuff I would want to hold on to, then there's stuff I would want to sell with those kind of players. But it doesn't. I'm not sure. Maybe it's just like the behavior of the market. I'll just go off of and like sell my stuff accordingly, just how it's priced. But we'll see.
I feel like it depends. Like anything Soto, Acuna, Tatis, I feel like if you really want like the most profit, just hold it for like a couple of years, maybe even longer, because these guys are like solid. Like they're the future of baseball for sure. Soto, Tatis, Acuna, like those. I think those 3. Even Trout, like he's obviously the best player in the MLB, but
yeah, but he's not the face
he's
of the
not
game.
young. Yeah, he's not.
He's
22.
not because you can go on the street and you can have Mike Trout and Tatis right next to each other and be like, who's this? And they would have no idea who Trout is, and they would have an exact idea who Tatis is because he's more marketable. Like he's a more marketable player. Everybody just knows who Trout is because he's so good at the game. Yeah. But Tatis is like way more marketable, way more likable. You can't hate Trout. You can't hate Trout. Like you can't. But still, like he doesn't get as much hype as I know you're a Mariners fan, but you can't get as much hype out of Trout than Tatis because he plays a different way. He has that swagger, which is different. No one's ever seen it. He's changing the game, which I like personally because like you're saying everybody like drift away from the game of baseball because it's not a marketable sport at all. But you have a guy like Tatis come in and he just changes up the whole game and people actually want to watch him play like Griffey did back in the 80s. Like he totally changed the game of baseball.
And then I guess my second question, good answers too, by the way, guys. It's hard because it's not an easy, clear-cut answer. Like we really do have to pay attention to the market, and then you have to decide, like we talked about earlier, like you have to decide personally, like do you think that it'll keep going up? Like do you trust that this guy is going to keep moving?
Total gut feeling.
Right. And then my second question would be, you see guys like Jason Dominguez prospects that are going for, pretty crazy amounts. Like, you see their first Bowmans, like they're selling for a lot. Do you think that guys like those, like, do you think that they're overvalued? Do you think they're undervalued?
It's regardless, like he'll play off the name, like the market will go off his name. Like he's just a 17-year-old, 18-year-old now who hits absolute taters.
Yeah.
And he's getting compared to Mickey Mantle and Trout, which is absolutely ridiculous because he's even not even
more advanced than Trout. Like
there's no way. How can you tell? He's never seen big league pitching. Like there's no way.
True.
Like you can't tell from a 16-year-old just taking BP. You can't tell if he's going to be good in the league or not. Like look at Bryce Harper. Granted, he hits like he's a 260 hitter. Like he's average at best. But look at him at like Las Vegas high school. He was destroying. He was the best. The best prospect we've probably ever seen since like A-Rod.
I mean, that's not his thing though. He doesn't hit for average. He hits 30, 40 bombs a year.
Who, Harper?
Yeah.
He still hits like 270, but still, like going into the league, he was supposed to be that guy, like the next dude.
He's pretty solid.
He's all right.
So do you think Dominguez is overvalued or undervalued?
Who? Harper?
Dominguez.
Oh, Dominguez.
Overvalued, undervalued.
If we see him this season, I think undervalued because his stuff is going to go crazy.
Oh,
And
If
he's
we
yeah.
see him
young.
within the next 2 years, I think it's undervalued because
And
Oh,
so
he'll
anything
be
of
brought up
his,
next year.
yeah,
He'll be
anything
brought
of
up next
his
year.
is just going to go insane. Same with Wander Franco. Like we saw him, he hit a home run, and his cards like his first Bowman Chrome went up like $50 to $100 PSA 10.
Yeah.
My Bowman paper that I'm still sitting on until he gets called up was like a $30 card. I was thinking of selling it, and then it went up to like 150. So we're already seeing like reactionary one home run. Like that's it.
Spring
That's all it
training, dude.
takes. Yeah, in spring training.
Is he gonna play this year? Is he gonna start at second or short?
I don't think he's gonna play this year. I want him to, but
Bro,
I don't know. Is
he
he
needs to
20,
play.
19? He's young.
He's 19.
He's young, dude. I don't know how old he is.
He'd probably get brought up at the end of the. Well, he did last year. He got brought up for playoffs.
No, I didn't play. He wasn't on the roster.
He was
They
just.
like gave him a jersey or whatever, but
Did he make the World Series?
He's
Or
20.
he made the playoff roster, just not the World Series roster.
yeah, but he didn't play at all.
Who cares, bro? Like you're in the big leagues at 19 years old. Like,
Sure.
there's a select few people that I know who've done that.
Harper.
Trout, Harper, Soto.
Soto was 19.
Soto was 19.
Dominguez will definitely be. Yeah, definitely.
pulling for our guy Bly.
Yeah.
Always cheering him on.
Shout out
Bly
Bly.
guy, baby.
Oh yeah.
He'll
He's
get,
been
dude,
raking in the Australian.
I honestly think he'll get brought up in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see. He's good enough. Yeah. He's good enough. In high school, we knew he was like he was gonna be that dude.
Yeah, he
But-
hit nukes.
Yeah, he hit tanks too.
He's a cool guy.
Who are some other rookies that you guys are buying?
Adele.
Adele.
Yeah, just because an Angel fan, I see a lot, but I pay attention to Adele. Let's see, rookies. Sheesh. Stay away from pitchers.
Alec
Carlson.
Baum.
Baum.
Yeah, Carlson for sure.
Yep. Switch hitter who plays really good in the outfield, plus tools. Honestly, I try to stay away from like infielders, like middle infielders, unless they're like Tatis, because the game now is power. You're either throwing 101 or you're hitting bombs.
Sure.
So like we don't see that a lot from like middle infielders, but like Tatis is one of them. That's why what makes him so special is because he can play shortstop, which is the hardest position on the field besides catcher, and he can play and he can swing the stick. Like it's you don't see that. So like outfielders like Carlson, like I would invest in him. Like Joe Adele.
It's my sleeper pick, Willie Castro. He's a beast.
Dude, so how much did you buy that for?
$1.50.
I don't know. I'll look, and then I'll just tell you how much to Venmo me if you want to split it still.
Yeah.
Is that a Topps Chrome?
It was 40, I think.
Okay.
Around 40. Yeah. Topps
Dude, what's
Chrome
crazy
auto.
is when you first
auto.
told me about him, I went on COMC to check at his autos. They were going for $10 to $15. I checked back yesterday night and I see they're going between like 50 and like 70. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious? Like, I'm glad we picked that one up, before. I wish I would have grabbed some more, but I'm like, wow, like this baseball market really does move fast. Like, and I thought basketball moves fast and it does, but like I'm starting to think that baseball may have the leg up when it comes to performance like that. Like you just talked about him and I already see people are buying up his cards and reposting.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's
I mean,
hitting, isn't he hitting like 400 with like 3 home runs already in spring yachts?
Yeah, he hit like 3 home runs in his first 3 games.
Isn't he a switch hitting shortstop too?
Yeah, and he's 23, and he hit 6 in like 36 games last year.
So
he hit 350. Like,
he's also in the AL Central.
Why is no one talking about him? Yeah, that's probably why, because he's on the Tigers. But
yep, that's why no one talks about anyone anymore in the Tigers. Look at Miggy; he's totally irrelevant now.
He's old too.
Same with Pujols.
Yeah.
Let's not
Pujols
talk about that. There's no way that he's older
43,
than
bro. Conspiracy. It makes sense.
There's
He
no
said it himself. I wouldn't believe it, but he said it himself, and then he confirmed it like a minute later, and then like in an interview.
So you're saying he was 20 years old in high school?
No, they lie about their age so that they'll get noticed, like they'll get brought up. All right, we have less than a minute left, so we got to wrap it up. Any last thoughts?
Buy football.
Yeah, buy football.
And
Herbert
it's in
season.
the next couple weeks. Get that back by beginning of season.
If you don't want to pay $150 to grade your card.
Yeah, seriously. $20 is still a lot, but there's still a lot of money to be made off of $20.
Oh yeah. Herbert is the move.
I've been looking more into him for sure.
Maybe Jalen Hurts a little bit.
I've been looking into guys too, like Calvin Ridley. They lack the physicality, but it's like, they have good route running. So it's like, you could put on some size.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy his rookie autos. I saw for as little as like $15 to $20. So it's like,
and I think as we see the market expanding, we'll see running backs and receivers pick up steam as well, because they're undervalued right now for sure.
Definitely. The quarterbacks are just sky high, which it makes sense to me, but it's like the running backs and receivers aren't getting the love that they should be.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Peace out.
See you.
See you.